This is a technologically advanced future world where human civilization has reached unprecedented heights. He came from the dark underground city. The scene in front of him shocked him. He couldn't accept the contrast of the world. The story takes place in the future. After an endgame destroys the surface world, humans build dungeons beneath the surface, and those who survive are forced to leave underground. Now, more than 200 years after the disaster, there is only one ladder connected to the ground, but no one has been up there for 200 years. At this time, the community radio began to remind people to go to the clinic to receive sunlight treatment, or they will be in danger of death. Jack is also an ordinary resident here. He lives in a dingy house. At this time, he washed and put on a mask to go out. His son, because of the lack of light into the clinic, he came to the clinic, found that his son has died. Jack watched his son cry, and the doctor witnessed many deaths. His heart has been numb, just casually said a pity. Suddenly, two men burst in, one of them seriously injured, and as soon as they put him on the hospital bed, he fell into a coma. A circular device falls from his hand, and Jack picks it up and realizes that they are members of the resistance. He went to the bathroom to clean the circular device, only to discover that it was the key to the exit of the dungeon. The rebel threatened the doctor to save his companion, and during the standoff with the doctor, a group of police rushed in from the downstairs of the clinic. The men fired at the door, but there were only 2 bullets. Instead of rushing him, the police dropped a high-tech bomb. Jack immediately closed the bathroom door. He escaped the explosion of the moment. Then the police swarmed in, searched around, and found nothing. At this time, Jack accidentally touched something on the table, and the police found his presence and thought that he was also a rebel and opened the gun into the room. Jack immediately jumped out of the window to escape and accidentally killed a policeman when he landed. When the police arrived downstairs, Jack had already put on the dead policeman's power boots and fled. The captain immediately ordered the pursuit. Jack put on the power boots, is a future nuclear technology products. Wearing it, humans can get the ability to fly. Jack then fled all the way to a busy city. The police are also in hot pursuit. He looked over the city at the ladder connecting to the exit, and the idea of escaping to the ground occurred to him. He was cornered on a rooftop and had no choice but to gamble. He jumped from the building. He fell to his death. The power boots flew successfully. A group of young people downstairs in shock. As they watched the scene, he fell to the roof of the building due to improficiency. At the same time, the huge electronic screen was broadcasting the arrest warrant for him, and the police began to gather on the roof where he was. Jack jumped again to a higher roof. The man almost fell off the roof. People in the square noticed him, and the police quickly set up Italian guns to fire. They told all civilians to return to their homes, and even began evicting them by force. Civilians, who have been oppressed, rioted, and neighborhoods were in chaos. Jack took advantage of the chaos and flew towards the ladder with his power boots. During the flight, one of his power boots was hit, but he still managed to grab the ladder. The police rushed to catch up, but fell down due to technical problems. The captain alone managed to hold onto the ladder and has struggled to climb it. Jack uses the flames of his power boots to cut the ladder, and the captain flies up again after a short descent. He grabbed Jack's right foot firmly, and Jack again used the fire from the boot to spray him in the face. The captain fell and began a freefall. Jack struggled to climb, his eyes full of hope. The cannon was finally loaded after all this time. The projectiles hit the exits directly, and the exits of the dungeon were punctured. Outside, the starry night sky appeared in front of you, more than 200 years after humans last saw such a sight. At this point, people on the ground were immersed in the scene, and police and civilians gave up fighting. Jack's sight was knocked unconscious for a long time, but he was not injured. Controlling his excitement, he shivered and put the key in. He flipped the switch, and the exit door opened. In his lifetime, Jack had never seen such dazzling sunlight, and he was even a little scared at this time. When he climbed out of the ground, he was deeply shocked by the vast natural scene. Before his eyes, there was still nothing but desolation and no trace of life. Just as he was feeling hopeless, 2 flying machines flew overhead. Turning around, Jack found a highly developed science fiction city, and the dungeon is completely 2 different worlds. He felt cheated and lost his strength. The end of the war is a lie, and civilization is not only not retrograde, it is even more brilliant. But this glory is only for a few people, and they are only living underground to provide electricity resources, to generate electricity on the surface of the machine. This is the end of the film. The endgame ends on the surface. It's a lie of the rich. The humans of the dungeon have been lied to for over 200 years, giving their whole lives to provide them with resources, and in return, only to live in the dark. This is a true reflection of the relationship between the rich and the poor in our society.